What is happiness? Can science provide a definitive answer? These questions have puzzled thinkers, philosophers, and scientists for centuries. Happiness is a complex, multifaceted enigma that eludes simple definitions. It's a subjective experience that varies greatly from person to person, culture to culture, moment to moment. Some may find happiness in the simple pleasures of life, while others may seek it in grand achievements or in the pursuit of knowledge. Despite its elusive nature, the quest to understand happiness continues to intrigue the scientific community. In their quest for answers, scientists are digging deep into the human psyche, exploring the intricate interplay of genes, chemicals, and social factors that potentially contribute to our sense of joy and satisfaction. So, what is the science behind our smiles? What are the key ingredients that cook up this delightful dish we call happiness? Let's delve into the various scientific studies conducted to unravel the mystery of happiness. Did you know that your genes might play a role in your happiness? Yes, you heard it right. The science of happiness isn't just about mindset and experiences, it's also about our genetic makeup. Some fascinating studies suggest that our genes may indeed have a say in our ability to feel joy. Research in the field of behavioral genetics has revealed that certain genes might predispose an individual to happiness. For instance, the gene known as 5-HTT, associated with serotonin regulation, a neurotransmitter often dubbed as the feel-good hormone, has been linked to happiness. Those with a particular variant of the 5-HTT gene were found to be more likely to maintain a positive outlook on life. Another gene, the OX-TIR gene, related to oxytocin, the bonding hormone, has been associated with our capacity for empathy, trust, and social bonding, all of which are vital components of happiness. Now, before you start worrying about whether you've inherited the right genes, it's crucial to remember that genes are not the sole determinants of happiness. They are not the puppet masters pulling the strings of our moods and emotions. Our genes, like the rest of us, exist within a complex web of interactions. Environmental factors, life experiences, and our personal choices play significant roles in our happiness. Think of it as a musical orchestra. Your genes might set the tone, but the symphony of your happiness is composed by a multitude of factors. Furthermore, the science of epigenetics teaches us that our lifestyle and environment can influence the way our genes express themselves. In other words, we can nudge our genes in the direction of happiness through healthy habits, positive relationships, and enriching experiences. So, while it's true that our genes can influence our happiness, they are far from being the whole story. Our happiness isn't etched in our DNA. It's a dynamic process, a dance between our genes and our experiences. So while genes may influence our happiness, they don't write our destiny. The keys to our happiness in many ways are still in our own hands. Ever heard of the happiness chemicals? There's a symphony of neurotransmitters in your brain that play a significant role in regulating your mood and promoting feelings of happiness. 4 key players in this ensemble are dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, and endorphins. Imagine dopamine as the motivational maestro. It's the neurotransmitter that fuels your drive and ambition. It's the reward chemical that gets released when you achieve a goal, making you feel accomplished and satisfied. Whether you're crossing off a task on your to-do list or scoring a win in your favorite video game, dopamine is the one giving you that gratifying sense of achievement. Now let's talk about serotonin, the mood stabilizer. This chemical is a bit of a social butterfly, as it tends to soar when you feel significant or important. It's also responsible for regulating your sleep, appetite, and digestion. So when you're feeling good after a hearty meal or a good night's sleep, you can thank serotonin for that. Next up is oxytocin, often dubbed the love hormone. This chemical plays a huge part in building relationships and forming emotional connections. It's the warm and fuzzy feeling you get when you hug a loved one or play with a pet. Essentially, oxytocin is the chemical embodiment of a warm embrace. Last but not least, we have endorphins, the body's natural painkillers. They help to alleviate stress and discomfort, acting like a natural morphine. When you're pushing through a tough workout or laughing out loud at a comedy show, it's the endorphins that help you feel good despite the physical stress. Now here's the best part. You can stimulate the production of these chemicals through activities like exercise, eating certain foods, and social interaction. So, you have more control over your happiness than you might think. It's not just about your circumstances, it's also about how you choose to engage with the world around you. Remember, happiness might just be a few chemicals away. How does social interaction influence our happiness? Let's delve into the fascinating sphere of social relationships and their profound impact on our happiness. Various studies over the years have consistently shown that having a strong social network plays a crucial role in our overall happiness. It's no surprise, really. Think about it. When we're surrounded by people who care for us, who share our joys and sorrows, who celebrate our victories and lift us up in our defeats, it naturally fosters a sense of well-being and contentment. Now you might wonder, does this mean the more friends I have, the happier I'll be? Well, not necessarily. It's not about having a phone book full of contacts or a social media account brimming with followers. It's about the quality of these relationships, not the quantity. Imagine two scenarios. In the first, you have 100 acquaintances you occasionally interact with, but none of them truly understand you or share deep connections with you. In the second, you have just a handful of friends who know you inside out, who accept you for who you are, flaws and all, and who are always there for you. Which scenario do you think would make you happier? Most of us would likely choose the second. This is because happiness stems from genuine, meaningful relationships. These relationships enrich our lives, provide emotional support, and give us a sense of belonging. They allow us to share our experiences, to express our feelings, and to connect on a profound level. When we feel understood and appreciated, when we can be our authentic selves without fear of judgment, we naturally feel happier. And it's these deep, meaningful relationships that enable us to do so. So what's the takeaway? It's simple. If you want to enhance your happiness, invest in your relationships. Strengthen your connections with the people who matter most to you. Show them love and kindness. Be there for them, just as they are there for you. Remember, it's not about having countless friends. It's about having friends who count. So nurturing meaningful relationships could be a key to unlocking happiness. Can we change our happiness level, or are we stuck with a happiness set point? Now that's a question that most of us have probably asked ourselves at some point. The concept of a happiness set point suggests that each of us has a baseline level of happiness, a sort of emotional home base that we invariably return to, regardless of the highs and lows life throws at us. Imagine it as an emotional thermostat. No matter how much the temperature fluctuates throughout the day, your thermostat always brings it back to your preferred setting. Similarly, your happiness set point maintains your usual level of contentment, whether you've just won the lottery or lost your favorite pair of sunglasses. It's like an anchor, keeping your happiness steady amidst the stormy seas of life. But here's the thing. This set point isn't as rigid as it sounds. You're not doomed to a life of average happiness if your set point tends to be lower than you'd like. Sure, we all have our default setting, but several studies have shown that it's possible to adjust this set point with some consistent effort. It's not about ignoring the negative or pretending that everything is sunshine and rainbows. It's about learning to approach life with a positive mindset, cultivating gratitude, nurturing relationships, and practicing self-care. By adopting these habits, we can elevate our happiness set point over time. Think of it like training a muscle. The more you work that happiness muscle, the stronger it becomes. You're not going to wake up one day and suddenly be happier. It's a gradual process, a journey, not a destination. Yes, there will be days when it's harder to choose happiness, to see the silver lining. But remember, it's not about eliminating the negative, it's about amplifying the positive. And the more you do this, the higher your happiness set point becomes. So don't be discouraged if you feel like your happiness set point is lower than you'd like. Remember, it's not a life sentence. With patience, persistence, and a little positivity, you can nudge it upwards. So our happiness set point isn't set in stone. We can change it. So what have we learned about happiness? We've discovered that our capacity for joy isn't entirely our own doing. Yes, genetics play a part, subtly influencing our baseline mood. We've also seen how neurotransmitters, those microscopic messengers in our brains, can shift our happiness levels for better or worse. But happiness isn't just an internal affair. Our social connections, the bonds we form with others, they matter. They can bolster our happiness, providing a sense of belonging and shared joy. And let's not forget the happiness set point, that individual and unique level of contentment we tend to gravitate towards, regardless of life's ups and downs. So happiness, it's complex. It's a blend of biology, chemistry, and sociology, a mix of nature and nurture. It's not a constant state, but a dynamic process. While happiness may seem elusive, understanding these aspects can help us navigate our journey towards it.